Hello students, how are we today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel wherein I have been explaining about accounts from the beginning. Anyways, we are at home nowadays, so we can do a little more extra studies, and this is online study which will help you. If you want me to take online classes for you, you can send me a mail and I will be able to assist you. And here last class I started from the beginning. If you see my earlier YouTube channels about the theory part of it, what is bookkeeping, what is accountancy. Now last class I showed you how to post the transactions to journal. Now in this class I want to go a step ahead with a smaller set of transactions which will show posting of transaction to journal, and then from journal it will go to ledger. And here I'll be emphasizing and bringing in clarity about on the debits and credits of each transaction. So you can see my first page, it says journalize the following transaction of Messrs. Malika Fashion House and post the entries in the ledger. Okay, so there are around 10-12 transactions so that we can comfortably complete the journal and it's easy for you to understand. This is my book of journal. This is how it looks. You have to write the heading first in the books of Malika Fashion House journal. Date will be there, particulars, that is the detailing, ledger folio. It is the ledger folio of the ledger, so that each transaction has a ledger, and in the ledger folio you will see there will be journal folio. Debit, one column should be debit, one column should be credit. My debit should always tally with my credit. If in the journal, because now there are few transactions, we'll be able to tally it, but then if the transactions are more, sometimes we tend to make mistakes in debit and credit postings, so my debit and my these two columns don't tally. So let's begin with this set of transaction. Now the year is 2005, so I'll just mention here so I don't have to keep on doing it. 2005 June 5th, business started with cash. So you see business is starting with cash. So what's coming in cash? I'll write here date. I'll write here June 05. Two entries will be passed here, right? What comes in cash? So I'll say cash account debit. What comes in? Remember, I'll just write it here, three things. We had said that debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Okay, the second rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Alright, my third rule is debit all the expenses and losses and credit all the incomes and gains. Based on these three principles only, all the entries are passed. That's why if you make any mistake in debit and credit, the journal may not tally. Now the first is business started with cash, so cash account debit, cash comes in with amount is 2 lakhs, so I'll say 200,000 to capital, because this is the money which is introduced. So capital account is getting credited 200,000. In my next class, I'll tell you which accounts have always debit balance and which accounts always have credit balance, so it stays in your mind and you don't make mistake. So with narration, I'll write here just business started with cash. Okay, now I move to the next one. On this I've completed. Okay, now June 5th, so I'll say June 8th, opened a bank account with Syndicate Bank, 80,000. So you are depositing this Malika Fashion House is depositing cash in the bank. So cash is going out, but bank is increasing. So she will say, or the accountant will say, bank account debit to cash, right? So being cash deposited in bank. Okay, so amount is 80,000 both. So debit the bank account and credit cash account. Alright, Now June 8th is finished. Now June 12th. June 12th says goods purchased on credit, no cash or bank dealing, from Messrs. Gulmohar. So you bought goods. So what's coming in goods? So I will say purchases account. Purchases account debit to whom? Messrs. Gulmohar. I have to pay him. That is the Malika Fashion House has to pay Gulmohar Fashion House. So here the name should be Gulmohar Fashion House. Guys, if purchase was the cash purchase, it would have been purchase account debit to cash or bank. Okay, but here credit, so that person's name you will write with 30,000. So 30,000 you will debit purchases account, and credit side you will write here 30,000 Gulmohar. And the narration you will write goods purchased. Just say goods purchased on credit. Purchased on credit. Or okay, now after June 12th, again one more entry on June 12th. June 12th is purchase office machine, pay by check. Okay, here it goes. What comes in office machine? So you will say office machine account debit. Amount is 20,000, right? And to what? To check, right? So to bank 20,000. Alright, so and here you will say office machine bought by check. Alright, so we have completed this as well. So let me just total this so that I can carry it forward in my next page. Or shall I do it? Okay, I'll do it here, no problem. Let me total this, how much I get. So I'll say balance carried down, carried forward. So it gives me 280,000 plus 30 and 20, 50. So it gives me 330,000. Sorry, 3,30,000. So 3,30,000. So this I'll take it to my next page. Okay, here. So I will say brought down 3,30,000. Brought down 3,30,000. Both are tallying. So I had completed in my earlier page this, and this. Now I'm coming to rent paid by check on June 18th. Okay. So on June 18th. So June 18th. Rent paid by check. So debit all the expenses and losses. So rent is an expense. I'm going to debit it. So I'll say rent account debit. How much is the amount? Wait. 5,000. So it is 5,000, and credit to what? Bank, because it's paid by check. So 5,000. And you will say entry will be rent paid by check. Okay. Now this is done. Now next is June 20th. So June 20th. Sale of good on credit to Messrs. Mohit Brothers. See, you have sold on credit, you can say. And in case there was no cash check and this credit was not mentioned, and it was told that sale of good to Messrs. Mohit Brothers, you know it is credit, alright, because cash and check is not mentioned. So, sale of goods to Mohit brother has to pay me. So, either I will say cash account debit, bank account debit. If that is not there, I will say Mohit brothers account debit. So I should say Messrs. Mohit brothers account debit 10,000. And I'm going to credit what? Sales. My sales are always credit balance. In my next class, I'll be telling you. Sales credit 10,000. And the entry is goods sold on credit. That's enough. Now, the narration should be able to explain you in brief what is the entry about. So here I have done this one also. I move to June 22nd. So I'll say June 22nd. Cash sales. That means sale made by cash. So what's coming in cash? So I'll say cash account debit. So how much is the amount? 15,000. Okay. So cash account debit 15,000. And what? Two sales. Okay. 15,000. You have sold your goods. Goods are going out. So, and then I will say cash sales. That's it. Narration. June 22nd I finished. Now I go to June 25th. June 25th. It says cash paid to Messrs. Gulmohar Fashion House. Remember, we had bought from Gulmohar Fashion House. So I'm going to pay him. So what goes out? Cash. So I will say debit. Debit Messrs. Gulmohar Fashion House and to cash because I'm paying cash 30,000. Okay, so you will say cash paid to Messrs. Gulmohar Fashion House. Okay, now this also is over. Now last two. 28th. Received a check from Messrs. Mohit Brothers. You have received check. So money is coming in. So I'll say June 28th. Why am I writing it here? Okay, this 28th shouldn't be here. This is okay. So June 28th. It says received a check from Messrs. So money is coming in 10,000 rupees. So check. So I'll say bank account debit. Bank account debit. How much amount? 10,000. 2. Messrs. Mohit because he is paying. Messrs. Mohit Brothers 10,000. And you will write here received check. So you can say check received from Messrs. Mohit Brothers. Okay. Now last one we are doing June 30th. Salary paid in cash. Again expenses debit. So I'll say June 30th. Salary account. I'll open a salary account. Salary account debit to cash. To cash. How much is the amount? 6,000. 6,000. And entry is salary paid in cash. Okay. Now let me total these two. It should tally. My all the entries are finished. My this should tally now. So let me check. I'll use calculator. First I had 330,000 plus 15,000 plus 30, 40, 45, 10, 55 plus 6,000. So total what I get is 406,000. That is 4,06,000. So 4,06,000 is my total. This side also. That means my journal has tallied. The debit is equal to credit. So with this I can proceed for my ledger. So based on the entries, now I don't need the question. Now based on these entries which I have passed, this entry and this entry which I have passed, I will be preparing a ledger. I will show you how the ledger looks like. The ledger looks like this. Okay. This is again okay. This we don't here. The ledger looks like this. In this it shows you have to write the name of the in whose books you are writing. That should be there. So you will write in the books of Mrs. Malika, which was already there. So you will say in the ledger or books, or you can say books of Mrs. Malika Malika Fashion House. Okay. Then this is year 2000. This is ledger. Guys, always remember this is debit side and this side is credit side. It is divided with this line which I have drawn here a little darker. So date, particular, journal folio. See, I told you JF, journal folio is reflecting here. JF, and amount is for the debit. That means from here till all this here is debit, and from here is all this is the credit side. So whatever is affecting debit will be written on the debit, what is affecting the credit will be written on the credit. Okay, so let's move further. So we will be going further on this. I just need the journal what we have passed before. So just a second, guys. I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay. So I proceed. With this. I start my ledger with each entry of my journal. I don't have to see the question. I just need to see my journal. And here I start. First entry is rent account deb. No, this is the old one. Okay, here. First entry is my beginning. Cash account debit to capital. So I'm saying cash account debit to capital. Okay. So first I will open a cash account. Okay, and I will open one account. I'll open with cash. One account I'll open capital. Okay. So let me open that account for you. So here I will write here for each account head you should have these date, particular, journal folio, amount, rupees. So this I'm opening here cash account, and here I'm going to open my capital account. Okay, so I'll pass the first entry. This is for the year. Okay, you can say for the year, for the month it is actually for the month. For the month of June 2005. Okay, I start. So cash account and capital account. So I go back, I see here cash account debit 200,000 on June 5th to capital, money brought in, right? So on June 5th, so I'll write here June 5th, cash is debit. So I will debit cash, but with what? Capital. So I will write here. So I will write here to capital. Amount is 200,000, 2 lakhs, right? And what am I crediting? I'm crediting my capital. Because guys, you see here, cash account I have to debit and I have to credit capital, to capital. You can see it goes in credit column. So when I debit my cash, I will write the name of capital. And when in my capital account, I'll write the name of cash. So it is opposites, okay, because that's how it's affecting. The moment I will show you, the moment I see cash account, I know debit capital. That means capital has been brought in by the business of 200,000. Seeing my cash account only, money comes in, debit what comes in, and here I will write June 5th, and here I will say by cash, because capital brought in by cash 200,000. Okay, and then I go back again. This is done for my ledger. June 8th, bank account debit to cash 80,000, cash deposited in bank, right? So I will say June 8th. Okay, cash is depositing, so bank account is debiting and cash is crediting. So I have to open a bank account. Here I will open a bank account. I will open a bank account. Here I will say bank account. So it says money is deposited in bank. So bank account debit on what date? On June 8th. So June 8th, bank account is opened. So I'll say to cash because money comes in bank. Amount is 80,000. Money comes in bank, so debit what comes in and credit. From cash, the money is going out. So I'll say June 8 by bank 80,000, right? So my third transaction this is done. My third transaction on June 12th, purchase account debit to Mrs. Gulmohar. Now I have to open two account heads, one purchases, one Mrs. Gulmohar. And this is good purchased on credit 30,000. Okay, let me keep this in my mind. So I'll open purchase account debit, purchase account and Gulmohar account. So I have to open here, I will open purchases account. And another account I will open one more, Gulmohar account. Okay, see all the account heads have debit and credit. They all have debit and credit. Okay, all. This is debit side of it and this is credit side of it. Okay, so it says purchases account debit to Gulmohar on June 12th. So June 12th, you're going to debit purchases. So I will say June 12th, debit my purchases with what? Debit my purchases with Gulmohar Fashion House. This name I will write. Remember, in this account head, I will write this name, and in this account head, I will write that. So in purchases account, I will write Mrs. Gulmohar. Where is my purchases? Here. And here I will write to Mrs. Gulmohar Fashion House. The amount is 30,000, right? Remember, 30,000. And when I go to Gulmohar account, here I will write on June 12 and I will say buy purchases. So it says 30. Is it clear? Okay. It says 30,000. So 30,000. Alright. So with this we have passed the next entry. Now we will go to the next transaction, next entry what we had passed in journal. Okay, so let me move to that page now. I'll go here back. Now here it says we have so far done 3. The fourth one is on June 12th, office machine bought to bank. So again, to account at bank I've already opened. I don't have to open again. I need to open an office machine account, 20,000. Debit what comes in. So I'll open an office. Where is it? Yes, here. I'll open an office machine account. Guys, this is the asset for the company. This is the asset for their Mrs. What is the name of Malika Fashion House. Okay. So office machine has been bought on June 12th. So I'll write here June 12th, debit what comes in and by paying what? Bank. So to bank account. How much is the amount? 20,000, right? I remember that. And here, see, from if you see only office machine account, you will know in office machine account, you don't see anything. As an accountant or as a banker or someone, if they see the account, office machine to bank. So the moment I see this debit side, that means office machine has come in by paying bank. Okay. And I go to bank. I have to credit it because the money has gone from bank. So on June 12th, it will say buy office machine account. Amount is 20,000. Okay, this is done. We move to the next one. Okay, this page we have completed. Now I go to the next one. Rent account to bank. That means the rent has been paid. On June 18th, 5,000. So bank account is already opened. I'll open one rent account. I will open a rent account here. Rent account. Again, this side is debit and this side is credit. Rent account debit. On what date? On June 18th. June 18th by check. So you will say to bank 5,000. Now this is affecting my bank, so I'll go back to my bank and I will say June 18th by rent. By rent it is 5,000. Okay, then I go to the next one. This one is done. Mrs. Mohit brother to sales. That means I have sold on credit to Mrs. Mohit brother. So I have to open two account head. One is Mrs. Mohit brother, the other is sales. Okay, so let me open two account head fast. One is Mrs. Mohit brothers, and the other one I will open is sales account. Alright, so what has happened here? I have sold to Mrs. Mohit. The date is June 20th, and here I'll say two sales, because if I had not sold on credit, it would have been cash or bank, so cash or bank account debit. Rather than that, he becomes my debtor, he needs to pay, so I will debit his account with sales of 10,000, and I'm going to credit my sales. I told you sales is always a credit balance, so it is June 20th, and I'll say by Mrs. Mohit brothers 10,000. Okay, so with this transaction also over, let me go to the next one. Cash account debit to sales. Now I have sold on cash, so two accounts getting affected on June 22nd, 15,000, cash account and sales account. So I go to my cash account, money comes in, so I'll say money comes in on what date? On date, I think it is June 22nd, I think. Yeah, June 22nd to sales. Amount is 15,000. We read it there. 15,000. Then I go back to my sales account where I have opened my sales account, and I'll say June 22nd by cash. I have sold this. One is I've sold to Mrs. Mohit, and one is I've sold on cash. So the amount is 15,000. Okay, with that I go to my next entry. This is done. I go to Mrs. Gulmohar Fashion House to cash on June 25th. That means I have paid him 30,000. So my account getting affected is cash. I have paid. So I'll debit the Mrs. Gulmohar first because I'm paying him. The date is June 25th to cash. Amount is 30,000. And I pay cash on June 25th by Mrs. to whom? Mrs. Gulmohar Fashion House. Okay guys, this amount is 30,000. So with this I move to the next one. Bank account debit on 28th. Bank account debit to Mrs. Mohit 10,000. That means Mrs. Mohit paid me 10,000 on June 28th. So debit what comes in. So I'll debit my bank account. So I'll say June 28th to Mrs. Mohit brothers. How much is the amount he had to pay me? 10,000, right? So 10,000, and then I go to Mohit. Where is Mohit? Yeah, here. So on June 28th, he paid by check, right? So I'll say by bank 10,000. Okay, now I go to the next transaction in my journal. June 30th, salary account debit to cash 6,000, the last transaction. So paid salary by cash. So you will open a salary account. I will open a salary account. Again here, this is debit and this side is credit. And this is the line, remember? So salary account debit with June 30th, cash 6,000, and then by what? By cash here. June 30th by salary 6,000. Okay guys, so with this all the postings in the ledger have happened. We have completed. I'll just balance it off, because slowly you will come to know where these entries will go. How do you balance? You total the debit and total the credit. Whatever is difference is carried down. Okay, I will total this now. My cash book. So this shows 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2,15,000. This side should be, both debit and credit should be same, 2,15,000 minus 2,15,000 minus 880 and 36. So it gives me 99,000. Right? So let me just check once again. 2,15,000 minus 80,000 minus 30,000 minus 6,000. So 99 is the balance. So 99,000 is on June 30th is by balance carried down. Okay, so balance brought down will be here when? On July 1st. My cash book will start with to balance brought down 99,000. In this manner I will tally each of my account. Now capital is 200,000, so this I will just close 200,000. So 2 lakh. Capital doesn't change normally unless and until you pay off or something comes in. So June 30th you will say to balance carried down, and here on July, the beginning of the next month, you will say by balance brought down 2 lakhs. Okay, so your books will always show this. Your book will always show this. Now I will close my bank account. Bank account this side, the more heavy side is on the debit. Debit what comes in, debit always cash in bank should be more, unless bank has a overdraft. Cash can never have a credit balance. Bank can have a credit balance. I always total it with 2 lines, 90, and this is 90,000. So I will say 90,000 minus 25,000 gives me 65,000. So this is 65,000 on when? June 30th. I'll say by balance carried down. So on July, the next day, you will say to balance brought down 65,000. Purchases I will close. Mrs. Gulmohar, I had purchased. I had given to purchases. So here, purchases are like this, guys. We will close all the account. Alright. The detailing I will, 1 minute, let me see, capital, bank, then I have purchases account, and then I have Gulmohar account. See here, Gulmohar account has closed. Whatever we had to pay, this is closed. So no need to carry down. Office machinery, it will, see, office machinery is there. It will show accounted. Office machinery, right? This is there. This also will be balanced, carried down, brought down and carried down in the same way. This also, all these, okay? Because the video will become too long. That's why I'm not doing all this. The carry down and carried forward concept you have understood, guys, okay? So how it is done. In next class, I'll be taking individual books of accounts, the prime books, and then you will understand how to do, okay? So I hope this video was really helpful for you, wherein I showed you how to post from the transaction to journal, and from journal we did posting to ledger. Okay, so with this I will be closing my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. If you have any query, you can send me a mail, and also the detailing and the description is mentioned in the description. You can refer to that. Okay guys, till then, till my next video, have a good time, stay safe and study hard. Any doubt, anything you don't understand, you can let me know. Alright then, bye bye, see you, take care.